There are small-scale actions that people can make and then large-scale actions that people can make to drive towards justice, and we need to find out what that looks like.
As the fight over Confederate monuments reaches a boiling point, New Orleans-based designer Brian C. Lee Jr. is tackling the problem with design. Through his firm, co.design, he's trying to make cities more reflective of all citizens with his latest project, Paper Monuments.
This project is, again, bringing together artists and activists and community members, storytellers, historians, and to tell the narrative of 300 years in New Orleans. Now, the reason we're doing this is because we now, over the last 2 years, over the last 60 years, have been talking about taking down racist Confederate monuments in the city. That happened a few months back. And so what does it mean for us to identify what we are into the future? What does it mean for us to tell the stories that have been erased over time and to place them in the communities that deserve to be honored?
Why is it important for architects and designers to be socially and politically conscious in the first place? I mean, what are buildings a political place?
They all have to deal with access, permeability to these spaces, and they define whether or not people succeed or don't succeed. You know, the crappy schools that people see are not crappy because we've decided that this one school gets all the resources and the other. It's because we've perpetually locked in policies that allow them to degrade over time. If we talk about shelter, education, healthcare, transportation, we talk about civic space, public space, all of those things are disproportionately impacted in disinherited communities. And so if we have people within those communities, and we do oftentimes, to speak to those issues in earnest, we actually can make the architecture better.
So many of our buildings that we live and work in are designed mostly by white men. So why is it important for us to have other voices as part of architecture?
When we deal in communities of color, we've got to have people who look like, talk like, understand the colloquial language, not just for the sake of having diversity, but for the sake of understanding the nuances of a culture, understanding the nuances of race and gender. And so it has to be that we have diversity, not for diversity's sake, but because those voices matter, because the language we speak matters, because the stories we tell matter.